I'm so excited today to have Ahmet Yavuz on the podcast. Ahmet is a multifaceted entrepreneur, a digital marketing strategist, and a software developer with a proven track record of driving growth and innovation in the furniture industry. As the founder and CEO of ASY Digital and Furniture Marketing Pros, Ahmet brings a unique blend of technical expertise and marketing acumen to the table. His journey began in the tech world, where he honed his skills as a software developer, mastering the art of creating robust digital solutions that enhance business operations and customer experiences. Leveraging his background in software development, Amit seamlessly transitioned into digital marketing, recognizing the transformative power of data and technology in shaping business success. He founded Furniture Marketing Pros in 2019, a specialized agency dedicated to helping furniture businesses thrive in an increasingly digital marketplace. By combining cutting edge technology with customized marketing strategies, Ahmed and his team have empowered numerous clients to overcome challenges like restricted social media visibility and poor SEO performance, achieving significant increases in online traffic and sales. Ahmed, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, William. I really appreciate the intro, Yeah.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this conversation.
Welcome to Catalytic Leadership, the podcast designed to help leaders intentionally grow and thrive. Here is your host, author, and leadership and executive coach, Dr. William Attaway.
I want to start with you sharing some of your story with our listeners, Amit, particularly around your journey and your development as a leader. How did you get started?
To be honest, like I didn't plan it, you know, and to be honest, like it is not something that I can plan. And I feel like, I was in a road, and trying something like helping businesses, helping, people. And then I realized that I became an entrepreneur, at the end. And I I cannot do it alone. It's very technical, and we are dealing with challenges, marketing challenges, IT challenges, for our clients. And the market is really tough. It's not promising right now for especially furniture stores, and we are dealing with problems every day. Every early in the morning, it's like a war room, for my team and for me. And every day we are having another issue for our clients. So, and we are consistently getting new clients, so we are scaling our business, and also like we are scaling our problems, when we don't fix them on time. So for me, like I have IT background, like I used to be a developer, but then I became a businessman. And leadership is like something for me that I cannot fake, you know, and I need followers, especially, for my team. Like we are working with A plus team members, right? And we are hiring, A plus people. So it means that, they have to be fire and forget. We are going to give them the task, and then they have to complete it, on time. And it's not easy, for my team and for me, especially like if you are swimming against the current, in the river. So like this is pretty much about me. Like it's like overall experience is like, um, I like to be a problem solver. It's part of my job. Maybe 60-70% of my job, like it's just problem solving. And those problems mostly come from people and the business and the market. But then like 30% sales. But sales is easy, if you have some testimonials, some success in the past, then sales is not the challenging part. The challenging part is like delivering results, outcomes for our clients on daily basis, because we cannot say, hey, like, we were successful in last 3 years with you, and this month we couldn't do it. So definitely, like, our clients give us, some credits, but it's not, unlimited. So, like the most business owners, like, I have to keep my boat, on the sea, right? And I need money, to pay salaries on time, to pay my tools, to deliver results, and also to advertise my business, to promote my business. And but it is not just about money, because based on my experience, like, if you have success, then money follows you. But if you are just promising people and not delivering actual results, then it becomes a reputation problem at the end. And people will not give you, unlimited credits, as I said. And for me, like, we have a team like 15 to 20 full-time team members, and I need to motivate my team. I can easily motivate myself. Every day early in the morning, I thought about the wins from yesterday, or the last week, and I can plan my day or my next week. It's pretty easy for me, but to do it for my team, it's not easy. You cannot motivate people with money, all the time. You cannot motivate people with working environment only. And sometimes, they go because they just want to go. Do you understand what I mean? Like, they fed up with the, flow, and it's challenging for startups. So, like, you have limited resources. You cannot offer people like double their salary. You cannot do that, or you cannot give everything that they need to be successful. Sometimes it's not easy for you to be, motivational for others. And it is the most challenging part, to be honest. When I was in Miami, like, 3 months ago, like, we were there together, and, and my flight had been canceled. And then I stayed at airport, whole night.
Mm.
And then I thought about, like, okay, so let's think about business, And I sat down, and I thought, like, why we couldn't hit our goal. Even I get, some successful results, like some awards, during the ceremony. So, but it was like below my, expectations, to be honest. And the number one reason was hiring wrong people. And, it was maybe the only reason. We were growing, but at the same time, sometimes I needed to fire people, during the previous quarter. And also, like, I hired wrong people. It took a lot of time to, fill their position with the right one. And we work with the, 7-figure agency coaches, with Oscar, Brian, and others. And I realized that, like, at that time, we were hiring 1 out of 500 applicants. It was crazy,
Wow.
like, and still I was complaining about it, And for me, like, if it goes wrong, like, I cannot blame others, because everybody in my team hired by me at the end of the day,
Ah,
So I
that's
and
great.
do you understand what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
cannot, complain about it because it is the outcome, like,
Right.
and approved by me. Like, I don't get into the whole process. Like, we sent them a test, video ask, and then, video interview with the team, the technical interview. Then at the end, I just want to see that person, the candidate, if it is right for this position or not. But in last 5 years, I hired maybe 150 people, and I fired like maybe 100.
Mm.
And it is something that, not just because I'm ambitious, like I set the bar here and people cannot reach. No, like, for me, it's very reasonable. But entrepreneurs, like, they're challenging, all the time. My team was talking about the success, the wins from the previous month or quarter. And for me, like, it means nothing in most all the time. Like, I feel like, this is not enough. Like, still we have a long way to do, like my list, my notebook is like full of the things for the checklist. We need to, optimize our process. And if we are not successful for our clients, I feel like I am kind of scammer, because I talked to them,
Mm.
I sold something, and I couldn't deliver. And
Right.
personally, I feel like I am the only people, or I am only, not, to be honest, I don't blame my team. I blame myself very hard. Like, sometimes even I cannot sleep, just because of the pay-per-click cost. Like, sometimes, because the market is not steady, it is constantly changing.
Yeah.
And for furniture stores after COVID, day by day, it was getting, tough. But like, back in 2019, I was introduced to a furniture store in Carter, New Jersey, and I realized that they were just posting on social media and boosting it later. There's no, ads manager, nothing. Like, there's no professional setup, no database, no lookalike audience. Like, and Facebook, Meta, like, charges like 42% more just because of that. Because
Mm.
Apple, charges from Meta, whatever, like, and they were paying double, you know. And I realized that most of the furniture businesses fail, not just because of the market stuff, it's because they are not getting right digital marketing right. And for me, it was an opportunity. That's why since November, we've been working with furniture stores only, because they're in crisis. Do you understand what I mean? And our offer is like no brainer. Like, I guarantee something, and it is month to month. We don't have a contract. And because I trust my team, I trust my service, and it's going well, to be honest. Not 100% well, because sometimes, especially in digital marketing, you need budget, to set up the right strategy for your client. But it's not possible for most of the businesses if they are in debt, like, and if they give you like $1,000 per month, so it's useless, to be honest. We have some, qualification process. Like, we are not working with everybody at this moment, because if I don't believe it's going to work, I don't sell it. I
You
don't
know
take
that
risk.
that integrity, I think, is so prevalent throughout everything you've talked about, Amit. I mean, you want to make sure that you can fulfill exactly what you promise. You want to make sure you can deliver what you discuss with these potential clients. And this goes back to where you were saying that, scaling doesn't get rid of your problems. Scaling just reveals new problems. Now
Correct.
you have now you have different challenges than you did when it was just you, because you have team members that you've had to look for and hire and train and now supervise. And like supervising 15 to 20 full-time professionals from all over the world, that's a big job just by itself, not to mention everything else that you're doing, just managing that many people. What are some things that you've learned about leading remote team members?
This is something that I am still working on it, you know, because like um I worked at corporate jobs and it was like hybrid from office and from home, and it was easy, you know, at that time. But for my team, we rented the office in Manhattan, and it didn't work well because like still I need talents, and if you want to hire people from New York City, like you need to pay double salary, like,
Yeah.
and it cost me a lot. Like I couldn't hire local people. That's why like we are taking advantage of remote working. But the problem is like we have some tools like um, maybe we are using 5 or 6 tools, just to managing our team, like Time Doctor,
Mhm.
uh, ClickUp. So we have leave dates. Like we have some tools. Like we are tracking their laptop, their screenshots, whatever. Like I'm not personally tracking it, but my operations manager, takes care of it. But still, it is something that we are working on. Early in the morning, I had a management, meeting, and then we were discussing about it because like managing a remote team is not easy
Mhm.
because I cannot, give free pizza on Friday. I cannot talk to them directly, and
Yeah.
in most cases, like I'm very busy during the day, and I cannot allocate my time to my team personally, and they feel like it's really hard to build a relationship, with my team.
Yeah.
So we do have some meetings for that, like skip level meeting. So it's like everybody is on the same level, and
Mhm.
we talk freely, and they know that like they're not gonna fight at the end of the day. I guarantee it, and we talk. But and we have like some um, coffee time, with my team, but it is like 1 hour every month, like nothing more than that. So it is something that we need to improve for my team. I am not satisfied with my leadership right now with our remote workers, to be honest. I wouldn't be happy, with my leadership if I were a team member, as an XA expert or like operations manager, because I am stressful, like um, because I'm responsible from sales and growth,
Mhm.
and also like I need to create content for my agency. So it those are the activities that are taking time, and I have a family as well. So
It's
it,
hard to
it
balance all of that, right? I mean,
correct, and I am not successful, to be honest, and still I am taking courses, reading your book, I really like it,
I'm
and
so glad it's
you know
helpful.
yeah, and work life balance is not easy, and for remote team, it is very, very challenging, and I understand that. What I can do for my team, I set my expectations not so high. We do have checklist SOPs, and I want my team to follow up those procedures, and that's it. I am not expecting from all of the team members, not for the management team, but if someone is responsible for performance marketing, Of course, like those people need to come up with new ideas always and support me. But for my, digital marketers or developers, I don't set my expectations too high because I know that they work efficiently for 5 hours a day, not 8 hours. And I truly understand that because like it is very, very technical job and you cannot keep yourself motivated, for work all the time. We have some minimums.
Yeah.
On top of that, during some challenging times, of course, I want their full focus. But other than that, I give them some room, for their, you know, how do I say, like, uh, not efficient time,
Yeah.
that's okay for me. I I totally understand that for my team, and if they are going to listen this, and
Yeah.
they will laugh. But from my perspective, like this is very normal and it's natural.
Well, I think that's wise because when you treat people like they're cogs in a machine, or you treat them like they're machines, then people don't feel valued. They don't
Correct.
appreciate that, and they don't lean in, and they don't stick around long term. And I
Correct.
think one of the things that I often work with clients on when it comes to leading remote teams, and I try to teach and encourage, is two things. One of which you've hit, and that is you've got to right size your expectations. You've got to be clear about what those expectations are and what they're not. And the second thing is you've got to over communicate. So often I hear leaders, and I'm working with somebody and they're like, well, I've said this 100 times. I'm like, I realize you think you've said this way more than you need to, but really it's about 100 times that people actually start to hear it and internalize it. Like you've got to say it way more than you think you should have to. That's over communication. We utilize Slack on our team. And so this is a way that we can not only communicate with one another, but we can always go back and look at what we said or what they said previously, right? This is just another tool to help us with us spread all over the world with our team. Like I want to make sure that there's no lack of communication. There's no lack of clarity. I believe clarity is kindness. So I love that you were moving in that direction. And I mean, I'll tell you, you said, you would not be happy if you were a team member with your leadership. I think you're probably being a little hard on yourself because we all are. Every entrepreneur I work with, including the one I look at in the mirror every day, we all know we could do it better. We all know we want to take the next hill, the next mountain, right? We all see what's in front of us and we don't celebrate the past nearly as much as we should. And I just want to encourage you. I love that you're in the habit of celebrating your wins, of writing them down and celebrating those. Keep that going because that's what's going to help you not only celebrate those yourself, but as you begin to expand and celebrate those with your team more, you're building a culture that from your leadership trickles down and touches everybody.
So we do have one-on-one meetings.
Mhm.
It was with me, but
Mhm.
I removed myself from that process. It is with our operations manager. She's
Great.
like my right hand.
Yeah.
So, and it is a meeting that, like team members, they put 3 topics,
Mhm.
2 personal and 2 professional goals. And
Mhm.
it is a monthly meeting and they talk whatever they want with
Nice.
their manager. And I removed myself because I realized that like it's not like they have some concerns like with me because I am the business owner, and they want to hide something about their personal or professional goals. And they do it with their operations manager and it works better. And I attend retro meetings, you know. Other than that, I removed myself from almost all of the meetings with the team. I have
Love that.
demo meeting and retro meeting, and I give them some opportunities to be genuine, to talk about problems freely, and I don't talk much. Like in my first 3 years in my agency, like I talk a lot. And as you mentioned in your book, like you cannot learn, you can only learn by listening, right? And to be honest, like after 4 or 5 years, I learned that I need to
Mm.
listen my team. And sometimes like I feel like I'm alone, but
Mm.
that's not correct. It's like emotional Ahmet,
Yeah.
I feel like, but it is part of growth. It means that I am challenging myself and my team, my company. And if I say, hey, like they just only pay us blah 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 on monthly basis, and we are delivering more than we promise, and that's enough. Let's keep it like that. Everything is okay for my team and for me. But I consistently challenge myself because I believe like we can do better. I can do better, you know. And it is like a growth mentality, you
Hmm.
know. And I
Yeah.
I have mentors, and like to be a seven-figure agency, it is our goal as a
Yeah.
team. But then it's not over, We're gonna
That's right.
we're gonna be multi seven figure. Then maybe over 10 million, 20 million, 200. It goes like that. It does, you know. Um, there is no end goal for us. Like we have to push ourselves, and it is tiring for me, for my team, and I accept that challenge. It's totally okay for me. You can understand it from my gray hair. I like challenge myself, but I cannot blame others if they don't accept that challenge. If
Yes.
they want to leave after 2 years, you know, it is totally okay. It's not my fault. It's not their fault. They can be tired because their expectations from their life can be different. And nobody is guilty, for that.
Mm.
So that's my mentality. That's why we hire consistently. It is a continuous process for us, and we give people opportunities. Like we pay for their trainings. I hire people for my team to train them, and also like if they say I don't know, it is not a problem. But if they don't put their attention, you know it's not okay for me. Like
Yeah.
if they do it just for checking the something from checklist, it's not okay for me. But if they don't know, it is easy. Like we can educate, we can get trainings, and we can learn it. And digital marketing, IT, like we used to have WooCommerce websites. Now we have Shopify, and we highly recommend it. So maybe 5 years later, it's going to be a different platform, and that's totally fine for us. If we have a better one, then we switch to that. Like for our SEO tools, like every year, maybe every other year, we have a new tool, and
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. And we need to learn, new things, and it is part of our continuous, learning process. But if they say, "Hey, Ahmet, like Ahmet, don't expect more from me. That's it," you know. And sorry, like I'm sorry, guys. Like I cannot give you the comfort zone that you like, no,
Yeah.
all the time. It is different than 5 6 hours productivity. You know, that's something different. If you wanna grow, then there is no country for you. you know.
Yeah. That's so good. I love your growth mindset on it. I think that's one of the things that really stands out about you. Your company needs you to lead at a higher level today than it did 3 years ago. And that
Correct.
same thing is going to be true as you continue to grow and scale. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now, you're going to have to lead at an even higher level. So how do you stay on top of your game? How do you level up with the new leadership skills that you're going to need and that your team and your clients are going to need you to have?
I start my day by reading a book, like at least 30 minutes, 1 hour. I read. Sometimes it is like just biography book or like business book. It doesn't matter, like, or fiction, non-fiction. It doesn't matter. I start, my day by reading, not checking my emails, my phone,
Nice.
and I think about my previous day, and also like I check my notes,
Mhm.
and I do my best to be prepared for the day early in the morning.
Yeah.
And after that, like, I have my meetings with my team, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Like,
Right.
it is my weakest point, to be honest, like one of my weaknesses, because like I watch, listen, books, like podcasts, but it is, for me, it is like free, experience from,
Yeah.
videos, podcasts, books, like webinars, it doesn't matter. Like, and I listen, books a lot when I am reading, after I finish my day, then I walk in the evenings, like 30 minutes, 1 hour at least. And I think and I listen, it's peaceful time for me. Other than that, I have always mentors in my
Mm.
life.
Nice.
And like I am a part of seven-figure agency, community, and I have tons of people, and they already scaled their business. They know what to do, what is next for me. And
Yes.
I value their opinions always, like, and it's not something that like for me copy paste is at the same, but getting benefit from their experience, it is valuable for me. On top of that, like I attend some webinars, online or in person, uh, like for us, for digital marketers, um, IT people. I say IT because like we have a unique solutions for
Mhm.
furniture stores. We integrate manufacture more than 25 manufacturers database into Shopify. It is something unique to us in the United States, by the way. So,
Yeah.
and it's like API integration. It is like high level, and we basically like we upload products dynamically. And when I say products, it's like over 2,000. Over 200,000 products, like in a couple of days. So it is something unique to my agency in our industry. So other than that, like as I said, podcast, reading, webinars, and sometimes I listen people out of my niche, like even they're in retail business, or uh, like some other IT guys, they don't have any business experience, they're just, developers or others. Like I listen them because sometimes I realize that, you know, uh, even they talk like lack of knowledge or experience. Sometimes you can learn, from them as well. How? Like
Mhm.
they talk something wrong, but you will think that, hey, like people don't have an idea about it, like, and in that way I sold 2 AI projects.
Nice.
It is out of my niche, but we built AI chatbot, and we sold it, and I made my money from AI in that way. It was like I was talking to AI developers about AI, and then one of my clients asked me something about the check, but and I said, hold on 1 second, like, do you really need it? And do you have budget for that project? And he said yes. Okay. And then I talked to my AI developers, and then we built an application, and it was like a 2-month project. but we made really good money, from AI, just with a couple of projects. So it was an opportunity from, non-niche friends, or mentors, whatever. And I value my parents' opinion as well, even they don't know about my business. They have a limited knowledge, but uh, they lived in this world, more than 60 years. So
That's right.
sometimes they talk like, irrelevant, but sometimes they talk like, hey, like, yeah, that's my problem.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, I push myself a lot sometimes. Like I I feel like, when I go beyond for my work, like when I lose my um work life balance, they say, hey, like you cannot live like that in your early 30s.
that's right. Well, and I think that learning posture that you have, whether it's learning from books or webinars or podcasts, or whether it's from, intentionally engaging mentors, and hiring coaches like Seven Figure Agency. These are opportunities that you're availing yourself of that
Mhm.
have helped you to go farther than many entrepreneurs will ever get already, and it's going to help you get there faster. And that growth curve is only going to increase in the days ahead, because as you continue to grow and learn and scale, right, you're able to invest more in your team, you're able to invest more in your business and see greater results. And I think we're just seeing the beginning of that for you. And I can't wait to see what's next. Has there been a book that has made a big difference out of the ones you've read? One that you would recommend to the readers who are listening? Hey, if you haven't read this, you should check it out.
I read a lot, but to be honest, like, I am a person, like, books are huge in my life. And the latest book is the biggest one for me all the time, to be honest. Like,
That's
and
great.
I was reading your book, and
Oh,
what I can talk about your book, like, it really hit me because you have a pastor background, and you have some quotes from Bible, and I realized that, like, I am a Muslim, but and it's like everything was correct based on my professional experience, my beliefs, you know. And I thought, like, I am not alone.
mm,
Like people in this journey, in this
yes,
entrepreneur journey, like we have some similar problems, almost
yes,
same,
yes.
and also like we are like look alike, you know.
Mhm.
And it surprised me when I joined to Seven Figure Agency, like, and you were the like one of the first trainers, like for the last year you had a training, about your book when you published it first, and I realized that I am not alone. Like even multi seven figure agencies like dealing with hiring, you know, and they complain about their team structure, clients delivering results, like onboarding. Like we do have similar problems. At the end of the day, I realized that this kind of books um, help us to understand people,
Mm,
because at the end of the day, it is all about people, reading people, not the
that's right.
books, you know.
That's right.
And if you read people, and if you know how to use their talents in a proper way for your business, then you will be successful. If you put a monkey, you know, like a swimmer, and if you expect from a dolphin to, uh, climb a tree, then it's not going to work. Same for our business as well. If I hire someone, I do have two two expectations. Like first, uh, having the right skill and passionate about his job or her job, like, and And then I realized that, if I read people, it's not possible always in a Zoom call, like, in an hour, you cannot do it. That's why we do have some disc, assessments, character assessments, whatever, like tests to understand their characteristics. But every book is like a step perfect analyzer for the people, actual people. And I realized that reading the books and collecting experience from those books and having the ideas, not, I'm talking about all of the books. Like sometimes I feel like I'm reading a book, but I need to stop because I'm not agree with the, writer all the time. Like if you read a lot, maybe
That's
you
right.
feel in that way. Like it is
Absolutely.
just collecting ideas from other books and, nothing new, but not for your book. Like it is great. And at the end of the day, like I highly recommend your book for everybody running a business, and also I highly recommend people like getting a mentor,
Yes.
and maybe book recommendations. Like, and I do have mentors from Score Mentor. It is like government based. I don't know if you know it or not.
Mhm. Yeah.
And mostly they are retired entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And sometimes I call my mentor from, Score, and we talk like, and he is like, hey Ahmet, like read this book and that, and that's enough for me. And
Yeah.
and yeah, but I highly recommend your book. Other than that, Traction,
Mhm.
like Emit, Profit First, Buy Back Your Time, like it's like fancy books. I respect all, but to read people, we need to read first,
Yes.
our books, you know, especially related to our job. And
Absolutely.
word classics I highly recommend, especially in early ages, because like for me, I was born in a family and in a neighborhood, and my mind was, restricted by my surroundings.
Mhm.
Then I moved to United States from Turkey, like back in 2019, and I realized that like I was not the only one right in the room, and like people have different thoughts and beliefs, and that's totally okay. They are not wrong.
Mm.
Like you can be right. It doesn't mean that I will be wrong. Like I don't need to prove my beliefs to
Yeah.
you. Just all we need to respect each other. That's it. you know and to achieving that, I think reading a book is a cornerstone.
Love that. Love it. I could continue talking with you all day. Every time we talk, I learn something new about you, about how you're leading. And I'm so grateful that you spent some time today sharing it, not just with me, but with all of our listeners. I know people are going to want to stay connected to you and learn more about what you're doing. What is the best way for them to do that?
They can visit furnituremarketingpros.com, and about us page. Like it's kind of all about me because my team picked me for a branding phase. So so other than that, they can type Ahmet Yavuz like on LinkedIn, or my email address is like Ahmet at asydigital.com or furnituremarketingpros.com. And also like yeah, they can reach out to me from social media on Facebook and Instagram. I do have a blue check mark,
Nice.
and yeah. So for people in furniture industry, I do have a note. like if they are listening to us, they should have a checklist during this tough period. And they have to question their team in a respectful way and their marketing agency.
Yes.
There might be room for improvement. That might not discovered by them yet. So that's the biggest, advice for them, because I feel really sorry when I heard, like, when I hear that, furniture stores are shutting down their doors,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why you can help. And
Yep.
we'll have those links in the show notes. Ahmet,
Sure.
thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing so freely today from your journey so far. And I can't wait to see what's next for you. I think your best days are ahead.
Thank you, Willem. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thanks for joining me for this episode today. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do two things. First, subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you find value here, I'd love it if you would rate it and review it. That really does make a difference in helping other people to discover this podcast. Second, if you don't have a copy of my newest book, Catalytic Leadership, I'd love to put a copy in your hands. If you go to catalyticleadershipbook.com, you can get a copy for free. Just pay the shipping so I can get it to you, and we'll get one right out. My goal is to put this into the hands of as many leaders as possible. This book captures principles that I've learned in 20 plus years of coaching leaders in the entrepreneurial space, in business, government, nonprofits, education, and the local church. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn to keep up with what I'm currently learning and thinking about. And if you're ready to take a next step with a coach to help you intentionally grow and thrive as a leader, I'd be honored to help you. Just go to catalyticleadership.net to book a call with me. Stay tuned for our next episode next week. Until then, as always, leaders, choose to be catalytic.
Thanks for listening to Catalytic Leadership with Dr. William Attaway. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss the next episode. Want more? Go to catalyticleadership.net.